Let's move, folks. This isn't going to be fun, easy, or safe.
Dan Harmon's Community is, in my humble opinion, one of the most clever sitcoms ever, and a great study model for storytellers of all stripes. This is why I show it to my creative writing class every year, numerous episodes, and teach the Dan Harmon Story Circle, not because it's the only way to think of story structure, but because it is a great way to introduce the concept to young writers who have never thought about these things before and get them to try to apply them to their own writing so that eventually they can think beyond them and grow into creative writers of their own stripe. But back to the topic at hand. Season 2, Episode 11, Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, captures Community near the peak of its creativity.
What did you say we were, Abed?
We're stop-motion animated.
The visuals are charming, the songs are fun, and the voice acting is, of course, top-notch. But it takes more than that to become a hilarious and heart-tugging Christmas classic. So what makes Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas work? The Dan Harmon Story Circle is pretty well known in internet writing circles these days. But for those who don't know or need a refresher, Dan Harmon breaks story into 8 beats, a super simplified variation of the hero's journey archetype. Beat 1 for Harmon is you. For Harmon, any story begins at its core with a character existing in a zone of comfort. This comfort zone shows us who the character is at the start of the story. What makes them comfortable reveals who they are, what their being is at that moment. For Abed, though, in this episode, we're already past that zone of comfort by the time we enter into the story. The boombox, the opening picture that we see, is already in claymation.
We're not clay. We're silicone dolls with foam bodies over ball and socket armatures.
Beat 2 is need. Something is missing in the character's life, despite his perceived comfort. It's a lack that manifests on multiple levels. A surface level want that the character will consciously seek to fulfill, and a subconscious underlying need that will drive the character's transformation. So we need both the surface level and the deeper need. But we don't necessarily need to know the deeper need at the beginning.
That's it. I need to find the meaning of Christmas.
Well,
If I can find the meaning of Christmas, everything will go back to normal.
asterisk.
Beat 3 is go. And this is the step that brings that surface level need front and center in the character's mind, forcing them out of their comfortable, normal world and into the chaotic story world where the real action happens. In traditional writing parlance, we call this the inciting incident. For this episode, we might say this is when Abed's friends throw him into therapy.
You lied to lure me into a group therapy session?
Surprise! Here.
Beat 4, search. This is the road of trials, where the character faces challenges, makes allies and enemies, learns things, and overall adapts to the unfamiliar situation as he seeks the means to satisfy his need.
Now, what I'd like to do is visit the Cave of Frozen Memories.
Pass. Let's head for the North Pole. The meaning of Christmas will be there.
This beat takes up a fair amount of Abed's story, as it does for most stories, because it's where a lot of the action happens and a lot of the growth. Beat 5 is find. In this step, the hero discovers what he's after, the means to satisfy his surface want.
Well, can it just be anywhere? Like, there?
Good job, Pierce.
In other words, he's found what he thinks he needs. Which brings us to beat 6, take. In this beat, the hero takes what he needs, but pays a heavy price for it.
It's the first season of Lost on DVD.
That's the meaning of Christmas?
No, it's a metaphor. It represents lack of payoff.
Abed has discovered what was missing, but discovering what was missing has frozen him up. so he needs one final step. Beat 7, the return. In this step, the hero brings it back home. Returns to his zone of comfort, that is.
I get it. The meaning of Christmas is the idea that Christmas has meaning, and it can mean whatever we want.
Abed discovers the meaning of Christmas, it brings them all back, and it brings us to beat 8, the change. Having changed internally, that is, our hero has learned some lesson and grown as a character, and he shows this in his new outlook on the world. Only near the climax, at the end of Abed's journey, do we finally learn what shook him out of his December 9th comfort zone and into his make-believe wonderland. And only through this do we learn his underlying need and draw together all the themes of the story right at the end.
I feel so much better now. I guess we don't need to be stop motion anymore.
Well, why not just keep it going for the rest of Christmas?
My Christmas conclusion? Community's Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas is a masterclass in story structure. Absolutely worth the dozen or so viewings I give it every year. If you watch it with your writer's eye and ear engaged, I think you'll get some of the same writerly benefit I do. At the very least, you'll have an enjoyable 23 minutes. Let me know your thoughts on Community, Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, the Dan Harmon Story Circle, Christmas specials in general, or anything else in the comments below. Like and subscribe while you're down there. Until next time, happy Christmas, and
Stay honest, stay alert, and for the love of God, stay between the gumdrops.
peace.